17,500 people each night. Now, you imagine something like Wembley Stadium, right? Like that. Okay? That kind of building. Well, over here, we cut it in half that way and 2 stages and play it like that. They cut it through that way. And Torval and Dean were on the other side. And I said to the promoter, why didn't you open it up and do less shows? You'd have done. I didn't think of this, he said. And this whole complex was built for the 1980 Olympics. And we were in there in 88. And the other 2 buildings were condemned. And this one looked like it should have frigging been. And they had guards in the place all night. And the only thing the guards were guarding was our catering room with the food in it. The equipment was left out there. No one's going to nick that. They were just worried about people nicking food. And it was the beginning of all the opening up. And there was this typical peasant woman you'd see with the black thingy and the scarf and slightly rotund. And she had 6 or 8 tomatoes on a piece of that funny crinkly paper we get in the tomato boxes, you know. So we went out walking. Off we went. Don't know how many, 2 or 3 hours come back or whatever. And she'd sold 2. Fuck me, that's a reality. And then we were walking up this street and there's this guy, I suppose he was 60-ish. It's hard to tell now because... And he was sweeping. It's this fucking great pile of dust. There's no litter really, because it wasn't any to have. It was just dust. And he's got this fucking great brush and it's this big pile of dust building. All of a sudden this bus comes. And all the dust goes... And he just sort of carried on. Never moved. And that was the overriding thing there. There was a guy that was very rude to us in the restaurant, which is where Reggie played. It was a restaurant that would hold 3,000 people in this Hotel Rossi, which was so infested, it was ridiculous. And this chef had been rude. And I complained to some woman, and she said, that's he sacked. I said, fucking good job. Fucking asshole. He'd been really off it, you know. So within a day or so, she said, I have sacked him. I said, oh, good. Comes back a day or so later. I said, Milada, I think I know, was some name. I said, that guy, she said, oh, yes, she said, we had to give him another job, didn't we? So what was the point of freaking sacking him, you know? Because all stuff like that went on, and you were very much aware that there was money around, but not for the hyperlite, you know, there was a lot of that. And some years later, or last year or the year before, we did it, and I came back, and we got stuck there in the cloud jobby when that was going on. And I was going on for the solo album to do Loose Women. It's an unfortunate program, a cool thing about women loose, you know. And Lyanne was with me, you know, out there, and I must have been ranting about something, you know, and moaning, I'll get and getting. And she said, no, don't forget, just drop the whole Russia thing. Yes, my love. So I'll go, you know. First thing I said, some of you just been to Russia. I said, Moscow was shite. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, you know. And what I didn't mean that Moscow in itself was shite, what I meant was we'd been in St. Petersburg, which was a lovely experience, and I've been to both places before. We got to Moscow, got stuck to walk up to the hotel. There are armed guards outside, keeping people out. We're talking to people inside. There's a sense on the street that you can now see the people who've got the money, and it's over the top. I mean, you might as well just hang it off your body. Can you see my money? I have some money, you know. And then there's the people that don't have. And there just seems this ridiculous sense of hopelessness there to me. So I came back, put my foot in it, shut my mouth off. I shouldn't have said it. So we went into the place we were in 1988. It's called Gom, across the road from the Kremlin. And it was like their equivalent to Harrods. And I think we saw a pair of jeans for like £90 in 1980. It's a fucking joke. You go back there now, it's fantastic. Got food courts, and they've got these gorgeous women looking after it, and nobody in there. Sorry. Make this a political job, eh? Should we? Status what?